The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
Are there concerns with the Jets coaching staff? We'll talk about that and much more as the Jets get set for week 2 against the Tennessee Titans. Nick Faria is going to join us in his weekly spot. So Jets fans, let's hit it and get it started.
Man, our Jets are primed for a historic season.
Great game. I know Aaron Rodgers did well tonight. Look, it's only one game. Everybody's complaining that the season's over. Week 2, they're playing Tennessee. We're going to win. I guarantee that they're going to win 37-29.
We bleed Jets green each and every day. This is not the same old Jets. We have Aaron freaking Rodgers. We have Garrett Wilson. Let's go. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinnen Williams. The Jets bandwagon is loaded. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show.
Here we go, Jets fans. Before we bring on our esteemed guest, a reminder that we are presented by Huga House today. They have a brand new custom Aaron Rodgers Year 20 themed hat that is available. So go over to HugaHouse.com right now. Make sure you go fast. Use promo code ASMAN if you want the same hat that Aaron Rodgers wore to the game on Monday night. You'll get it 15% off with that code. You buy one hat from Huga House, you get the second hat 30% off. So 15% for one, 30% off for two. Check it out. The hats are awesome. Really like both. I ordered the green one for myself yesterday. Once again, promo code ASMAN at checkout for 15% off. Let's bring on our esteemed guest. He will join us every single week at this time throughout the Jets season. We say hello to Jets beat reporter for Athlon Sports, Nick Faria. Nick, welcome back to the show. The sky is seemingly falling in the eyes of many Jet fans. Talk the fan base. If there are people on the ledge, talk them off the ledge.
Well, I will say this. I was on last year, around the same time last year for your show, and I loved how quick it went from, hey, this is not the same old Jets team, to instantly opening up of, damn, Aaron Rodgers down with a torn Achilles. And I think that is probably the biggest difference here. Yes, they did not play well on Monday night. They got blasted to holy hell against a great San Francisco 49ers team. But in the end, are the 49ers even remotely close to any of these teams the Jets are going to face the rest of the way? No, you played your hardest part of the schedule in week 1. And I think you hear from a lot of coaches a lot of different times, when your team loses and gets blown out early on in the season, and I mean early on, and it's just like everything goes wrong, that's how you build up. You start from the ground up and you build through those experiences. So no, it's not a great thing that they went out to Santa Clara and got blown out like that. No one is saying that that is a good thing. But it's not the end of the world, because we have seen throughout NFL history, teams that get blown out early in the season, they end up having great years because they use that as a stepping stone to greatness. That absolutely could happen here.
When you look at the issues in this game on Monday, obviously the defense had an uncharacteristically poor game that we all can agree. The tackling was not good. How much of that is just one game against a great team? How much of that is maybe something bigger? You had all this time to prepare for a team that you're supposed to be in the same weight class of, and the result was the way it was. How do you kind of weigh week 1 versus, hey, the Jets want to be a team as good as the Niners, and they were outclassed in this game on Monday night?
Well, I think it goes back. You have to be objective with everything. First off, I completely agree. The defense was anemic, and there are some long-term concerns for this unit going forward. 6 of the last 9 games dating back to last year, they put up and gave up over 30 points to opponents. Now, last year, the excuse was, well, they're not playing with a competent offense, so they're always on the field. They're always forced to be on the field. That's not their fault. They're just gashed. They're just completely tired. What's the excuse this time? The excuse this time was you didn't tackle well enough. You didn't get off the field when you needed to. That's not on the offense. That's on you. And I think part of that has to do with Robert Salah. I think, I've always said he's a great defensive mind, a great defensive coach, and a great leader of men. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to adjust. And what we have seen from Robert Salah's defense is they run one system, one particular way. And it seemed like they were open to trying new things going into this year specifically. We didn't really see that on opening night. Maybe that changes throughout the year when they take on some lesser opponents and they try to master those different skill sets. But the fact that this team seemed so unprepared and they were completely outcoached against San Francisco, it really seemed that Kyle Shanahan knew instantly where everything was coming from on the Jets defense. He was not surprised. Brock Purdy was not surprised with anything the Jets gave him on defense. And I think that is an ugly mark on Robert Saleh, on Jeff Ulbrich. These two guys, they have vowed completely, we are going to get this fixed. Well, Bill Parcells says you are what your record says you are. As of right now, you have to actually prove you'll get this fixed and not just based on your past record as a very good defensive mind.
How do they fix it?
Well, it starts with tackling. It starts with tackling. It's the basic form. And that's kind of why I say as much as there are concerns, and there are legitimate concerns, no one's saying that, it's week 1. If you look across the National Football League, there was one constant in almost every single game. No one could tackle anybody. It happened opening night with the Chiefs and the Ravens. It happened on Friday night with the Eagles and the Packers. The Bengals-Patriots game, there were broken tackles left and right. You saw it in Detroit and the Rams. There are so many examples week 1 where tackling is just not good across the league. It is not some unique thing going on with the Jets. Every team is suffering from it right now. The important thing is to improve and improve quickly. Now, the easier fix for the Jets defense is to get their guys back. Get Leaky Fotu back off of IR, who was brought in as the defensive run specialist. You bring in Hassan Reddick back. You just find a way to get that deal done and bring him in. And now you're looking at a defensive line that looks drastically different from where it was in week 1. Now, there are some obvious concerns. You're not getting either player ready to go for week 2. You're not going to have that. So it's going to be up to the coaching staff to really hammer home the key coaching points going into the Tennessee Titans matchup. They have the overall skill set to completely dismantle the Titans. But the Callahan family knows how to use offensive linemen. They know how to utilize the run game. If the Jets do not show improvements, they absolutely could come away for the home opener 0-2.
We're talking with Nick Faria, Jets beat reporter for Athlon Sports. He will be joining us right around this time throughout the upcoming Jet season. Year 2 on the beat for Nick, so we're excited to have him on our show week in, week out. If you're watching live and at any point you have a question for Nick, write it in the chat. We'll bring it up on the screen. If it's a super chat, it will go first and cut the line, as we say on this program. Big time watch party on Sunday. Jets are trying to bounce back. We'll get into that game with Nick in a moment, but a reminder, if you haven't done so already, RSVP with the link I have posted in the description. Get there at noon, get your seat, get your drink, get your food, and let's watch the Jets hopefully dominate Will Levis and the Tennessee Titans on Sunday all together. And Nick, let's get into that game right now, because you know how this works. Week 1, there's always the overreaction. Jets win week 2, then you're like, okay, stabilize things. Patriots on Thursday. Like, there's a path that at this time tonight, 1 week from now, the Jets are 2-1. So let's talk about this game on Sunday. What to you stands out? What are some of the storylines that you're kind of looking at in this matchup?
Well, with the Titans, it's going to come down to the offensive line. Their offensive line looked pretty solid against the Chicago Bears, which is a good defense overall. But the turnovers from Will Levis just blew them away. And, When you lose a game where your opponent does not score an offensive touchdown, that's when you know it's bad. That's when you know it's really, really bad for your quarterback. So there are going to be ways for this defense, this Jets defense, to really come away with some turnovers in the passing game, really try to force the issue along the defensive line in terms of pressures and run stops. So that on the defensive side, it's just containing the run game. If you make Tennessee one-dimensional, you should be able to win that game pretty handily. Now, on the other side, it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. He said in yesterday's media availability, essentially the same thing he's always said after an opening night loss. Chill out. We've done this before. It's not the end of the world. It's always sky is falling when we lose. We're going to the Super Bowl when we win. Everyone needs to just take a massive breather. And I completely agree with that. We've seen it across the NFL. Teams that start 0-1 are not any less likely to make the playoffs going forward. It's always you want to start 1-0, but it's not the end of the world if you don't. So I think it's very important for Jet fans that are on the ledge right now saying, oh, my God, we're not as good as we thought. We're not even close to the top teams in the NFL. Take a breather. The top teams in the NFL right now are two teams. It's the Chiefs and it's the Niners. I didn't come away impressed with the Detroit Lions. I don't think anyone came away impressed with any other top teams in the AFC outside of the Chiefs. I mean, really, look at the week 1 slate. The Texans didn't look impressive against the Indianapolis Colts. The Bills had a 14-point deficit against the Arizona Cardinals. The Dolphins were getting killed by the Jacksonville Jaguars before a fumble in their own end zone kind of just tilted the game forward. No one really looked impressive on the AFC side. No one really did. So we need to acknowledge that and say, okay, the Jets may not be as good as the 49ers and the Chiefs right now, but they're still in a perfect position to be successful the rest of the way. Sorry, Jake, you're on mute.
My fault. Offensively, second full game, Aaron Rodgers and this offense. I choose to accentuate the positives from Aaron's
100%.
first game on Monday. 1, he made it through. 2, he gave you some vintage Aaron Rodgers. And 3, the pass protection graded out as the second best in the NFL. That is exciting. And I think the running game will get going when you're not playing the Niners front. And, it's hard to block in the running game when you don't play in the preseason and you got, 4 of your 5 O linemen being new. So I do think we'll see way more from this offense this week. Ideally, they have way more than 20 minutes of TOP. Your thoughts on this offense and what you're specifically looking to now see in the second full game Aaron Rodgers hopefully plays on Sunday?
Yeah, I'll start with what I saw. And I think there's another point that you need to add, Jake, and it's the fact that Aaron Rodgers got hit. It was very important for him to get hit because you saw early on in the pocket, he didn't really trust himself. He didn't really trust his leg. He was nervous trying to move around. And it was the same throughout. Kirk Cousins had to deal with that. A lot of quarterbacks coming off of injuries had to deal with that problem. Nothing outlandish from that. But the fact that he got hit, you saw him moving around a little bit better after that. After that sack, you saw him moving. And I think that's a great thing for the Jets because it allows them to trust Rodgers' footwork a little bit more. And it's going to be a lot helpful when you're not going up against Nick Bosa and this defensive line every other snap. So that's definitely a positive that you have to look at. What I'm looking forward to the rest of the way, though, is I'm looking forward, and I turn this back to the coaching staff, I'm looking for better personnel deployment. On 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, or 2nd and short, or 2-point conversion try, I'm not looking to give Breece Hall the ball. Sorry, I'm just not. You have a power back that you drafted in the 4th round that has looked incredible during the preseason and in training camp. We have seen in the NFL now that teams around the league do not have the defense to handle power running backs. If I'm the Jets, I'm using Braylon Allen far more than I did on Monday night. And I think that was a big problem to me. When I looked at the Jets offense, it wasn't the mistakes they made. Yes, the 2 turnovers were bad. No one's denying that. You always want to have a clean game of no turnovers, but you need to be able to play your personnel better. You need to put them in a better position. Alan Lazard had a really good game. All of that's great. Garrett Wilson looked solid. Breece Hall, when he got the ball, looked solid despite the fumble. If you put Braylon Allen in this offense right now, you give yourself even more of an opportunity to be successful. Now, Nathaniel Hackett's going to talk today, most likely, and I can almost guarantee, I said on my show last night, I can almost guarantee his answer for why didn't Braylon Allen play? Why didn't you get the ball to Mike Williams more? He's going to say, well, we need more plays. And that excuse worked when you had Zach Wilson at quarterback. That excuse doesn't work when you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. The way you get more plays is you call plays that are indicative of success, not running a simple handoff to Breece Hall on 3rd and 1 and then saying, oh, shucks, we didn't get it. Let's just punt it away. That doesn't work. You have to put your team in position to succeed. I feel part of that reason is going to be putting Braylon out there on the field, giving him some touches, getting Corley involved in the passing offense as well. Just getting some of your young guys the ball could actually help you get more plays and sort of balance out the time of possession battle. So where they go from here, it's all down to the coaching staff. If they allow this team to develop the right way, there's still going to be a really good offense.
Are you confident in more Mike Williams being used this week?
Yeah, 100%. And
we have 9 snaps, I think.
Yeah. Did he get used as much as people thought? No, I would not have guessed 9 snaps. I predicted around 15 to 20. But again, they didn't, in fairness, they didn't really have a lot of plays for him to begin with. So I think they're going to try to open the playbook a little more. The other thing about this, I think they just coached and played scared. I don't know if it was just me, Jake, seeing it, but it seemed that the offense was just afraid to have Aaron Rodgers or anyone else get hurt. And some of the play calls were a little, okay, just get through this play, get through this game, and we'll figure everything out afterwards. That can't happen moving forward. You have got to be able to win these football games. You can't have we're really worried about Aaron Rodgers getting hurt again, so we're not going to put him in a position where he's got to hold on to the ball longer than we need him to. Make the play, get the win, move on. That's the end goal. It doesn't matter how. I think they played scared. I think they coached scared. And I think that changes week 2 with the realization that you cannot start a season 0-2. You can't.
Here's a stat that I think the fan base will enjoy, Nick. Aaron Rodgers in his career has never been 0-2.
Yeah, listen, you're playing a Tennessee Titans team. They looked better than a lot of people expected. No one's denying that. They have a good offensive line coach, one of the better ones in the National Football League. But just because they have a better offensive line coach doesn't mean that this group is ready to win. This is a rebuilding effort here in Tennessee. This is not we're going to compete for the AFC South immediately. There are major steps that need to be taken for Tennessee in order for them to succeed. And I don't think they're ready to take that jump yet. I think Will Levis has a lot of questions still to answer. And I look at where the Jets are, they're going to be coming out like a desperate team. They better come out like a desperate team. You can't start 0-2. And I think Rodgers is going to be a lot better. I think the offense will be a lot better. And I think the defense is going to play with a much bigger edge going into this matchup.
Here was Jermaine Johnson yesterday, Nick, being asked about Titans quarterback Will Levis.
He's a talented athlete and they can throw the ball pretty well. But just watching film and just understanding some things about him, especially when he comes out, he's one of those guys that kind of, when things aren't going his way, you kind of can panic a little early, and just understanding how we can get him to that point as a defense and kind of how we can capitalize off of that. So just understanding how we're going to go throughout the week, understanding that what we can do on defense to make sure that we win this game.
What do you make of that?
If there's one player that desperately needs a big game, it's probably Jermaine Johnson. He was absolutely demolished in week 1 against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, part of it's because he was going up against Trent Williams, and Williams is one of the better tackles in the sport and of course across NFL history. But Jermaine Johnson needs to step up, and I think he knows it. I think the team knows it as well. If the Jets, and I do always try to bring this back to Hassan Reddick's case because it really is so impactful. If Johnson were to come in and dominate at the level he's supposed to in week 2 against the Titans, the Jets get back a lot of leverage with Reddick. They really do, because they need their young edge rushers to develop faster than they currently are right now. Because, listen, I'm very high on Will McDonald. I'm still high on Jermaine Johnson. Week 1 struggles mean nothing to me. I saw Hassan Reddick in Philadelphia's first year. He didn't get his first sack until week 3. I'm not really concerned about either of them. But if you go 0-2 and your pass rush and defensive line is a big reason why you're 0-2, that's a problem. And that's a big issue that the Jets are facing right now. Johnson's going to have to step up. McDonald's going to have to step up. And I got to be honest, Michael Clemens too. I know Robert Salah said that Clemens actually was one of the better ones on Monday. I looked at the tape. I didn't see it. I thought he was just as bad as everyone else. I'll trust the coaching staff for their determination overall. They know a little bit more than I do in terms of what they're expecting from their players. But it was ugly. It was very, very ugly. The Jets defense knows it, and I think their pride is going to take over and say, we need this fixed now, not next week, not in practice, now.
Do you feel like the defensive staff has earned the benefit of the doubt after a bad week one?
I do. I think in general, the full encompassing point, they do deserve the benefit of the doubt to figure this out and fix it. This is not Nathaniel Hackett, who has a long history of just being a bad offensive coordinator and a bad play caller. This is not the same case. They finished in the top 5 last year. They finished in the top 5 2 years ago. Yes, the run defense is a concern, but they were still an elite defense last year despite the run problems. So I think ultimately they're going to figure this out. But the big question will be, how arrogant are Ulbrich and how arrogant are Robert Saleh's coaching staff? Because if you're a coach and you see your team get dominated like they did, my thought is, okay, we need to change everything up. We need to do things differently if we're not going to have this again. We haven't seen that from Robert Saleh. Essentially the same thing is, we're going to get this fixed. Trust me. Okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt for week 1, but if you fall to week 2, how, just because you're able to develop young defensive talent and just because you've had some really good success the last couple of years does not mean you have a very long leash to begin with. You're on the hot seat this season. Simply saying, oh, we're going to figure this out is not good enough in this instance. It just isn't.
We're talking with Nick Faria. If you have a question, Jet fans, write it in. This one's from Bang Mateo, and despite the fact that Bang Mateo this morning wrote in the Boy Green chat, Jake Asman flip-flops and lies about me, I will still read your super chat, Bang, even though I have never lied about you, and even though I do not flip-flop, I call it how it is. Why is Salah so arrogant? Our defense is not plug and play. Nick, your thoughts?
So he is arrogant because his defensive system is the envy of the National Football League. And I say defensive system because very few teams actually run it. The 49ers do, the Jets do, the Texans do, and they have 3 of the better defenses in the National Football League. Most teams, most defenses have adopted the Vic Fangio style of the cover 3, play deep, don't give up the big play, keep everything in front of you. The Jets are a lot more, hey, we're going to play physical, and the same thing with the 49ers. We're going to play ultra physical, but we're not really going to care about sacks. We're going to care about just making the tackles and overall in coverage. So I look at where the Jets are, and the reason why Salah is arrogant is because his defensive system has worked before. There is a reason why they have been successful, and it's because they have gotten the players to master this system. However, the same players are not all there. There's no Bryce Huff. There's no John Franklin Myers. The defensive line has taken some major, major hits over the last few seasons. So I think arrogance only takes you so far. He's going to have to switch some stuff up. If he does and it looks great, I think there's a lot more cash in the Robert Saleh bank to say, hey, I know what I'm doing with defense. Give me a freaking break. If they struggle, though, it's, okay, you're on the hot seat. You're 0-2 now. You no longer have the luxury to say, we're going to figure this out, because you could be fired by week 5 if you're 1-4. That's just a matter of fact.
Kyle Clifton checks in with a super chat. Salah needs to strike a better balance. By the way, not panicking and outright excuse making. It's alarming he appeared so unprepared versus the team he should know.
Listen, I will say this, and in Salah's defense of he was unprepared versus a team he should know. The 49ers are a really freaking good football team. This is not the first time they have walked into a building and taken on a team that they've played many times before and wiped the floor with them. This is not the first time it's happened. We need to acknowledge that. They have blown out everyone on their schedule outside of the Kansas City Chiefs. They have looked like a dominant football team time and again. We need to relax in that reality. Now, at the same time, for Kyle Shanahan to know exactly what was going to happen is not a good thing. And it shows that this defensive system may need a couple of tweaks, may need some adjustments overall. And part of that is some players were playing out of position. No one really knows why Ashton Davis is covering Deebo Samuel in that instance, in that particular plays that we saw. Some of that is the players just not doing their assignments. Some of that is the coaching staff not putting the players in the best position for success. When you have all of that together, plus a poor tackling effort, you get what you saw on Monday night, and that is just a collective mess of defense from top to bottom. I don't think that's going to happen again. Even if they were to get gashed by the Titans and the Titans are able to run successfully, average 5 yards a carry, I don't think we're going to see another 30-point effort. I just don't, because Will Levis, I don't trust his arm. I don't trust the Titans' offensive line to be as consistent as the 49ers have been. There's just a lot of issues in front of me that says, oh, we should worry about the Jets' defense against the Tennessee Titans, full stop.
The NYJ Pod says, thank you for your balanced viewpoint, Nick.
Thank you. This is what I do. I don't think Monday was good, and I've said it consistently for the last week. I don't think it was good. But to sit here and say that this is the end of the world, it's week one. Robert Saleh's hot seat is not any hotter after San Francisco losses than it is right now going into week two. It just isn't.
Not super chat, but a member chat from Curly. What was the rationale for trading JFM for a half-eaten glazed donut and letting Huff walk for nothing? Terrible asset management.
I completely agree. Now, I do have answers for all three. First off, with Bryce Huff walking, the biggest mistake Joe Douglas made was not jumping ahead of these contract negotiations. Now, we did it with Michael Carter. Not doing it with Bryce Huff was a big mistake. Now, people will say, well, he's not doing anything in Philly. He played 40% of the snaps. You know, he needs to prove himself. Vic Fangio's answer yesterday was very telling about his struggles. But it's week one, and the Eagles have shown they're going to be okay regardless of what happens with Bryce Huff, because they have a lot of other pass rushers behind him to be successful. With Huff being a free agent and letting him walk, you have essentially allowed another team to get a young, ascending player with the hope that Hassan Reddick will be even better. Now, the idea of the trade made perfect sense. Jake, I think you and I both agree when the trade happened, this was a no-brainer. Reddick is 100% better than Bryce Huff. Philadelphia just wanted to get younger, and they wanted to get cheaper overall. All of that makes perfect sense. But when you trade John Franklin Myers, that's where everything turned. Because based on the reports that I've heard, talking to other people around the league, it sounded like there was some semblance of an understanding that Reddick would show up and play out the final year of this deal with the New York Jets without any concern. The idea being he's not going to play 70 to 75% of the snaps like he did in Philadelphia. So his chances of dominance were not going to be the same as they were in Philadelphia. They weren't going to give him that major opportunity because play snaps, the Jets love to rotate their guys in and out. When you trade John Franklin Myers, who is your best run edge, your best run defender, you essentially told Hassan Reddick, actually, we want to play you 70 to 75% of the snaps on defense, and we're going to rely on you a lot this season. Well, then what is Hassan Reddick thinking? He says, well, wait a minute. We had an agreement. We had an understanding that I wasn't going to play as much this year. If I'm going to, if the situation has changed, then I want more money. I want my money that I have earned over the last 4 seasons. So to that extent, I have said consistently, the JFM trade made absolutely no sense when you bring up this Hassan Reddick situation, because it gave him more leverage. And if you were always planning on trading John Franklin Myers away, feeling that there wasn't enough room on the roster for playtime, then why didn't you go to Reddick and say, okay, let's hash out a deal immediately?
Right.
None of that makes sense. And I think Joe Douglas has done a lot of good things. He has, objectively. He's done a lot of good things. The Jets roster is still very talented this year. But this is a massive, massive miss by the front office, simply because they did not have the foresight to understand Reddick's situation. They just thought, well, we had an understanding before, and just because we changed the variables doesn't mean he's going to change his mind. That is gross incompetence in terms of negotiations, and certainly has a major effect on this Jets roster. They missed Hassan Reddick. They showed they needed Hassan Reddick Monday night, and the fact that they didn't have him is a reflection not on Robert Salah, not on the rest of the roster, but Joe Douglas. It seemed that Joe Douglas, because of this move, set up this team to fail Monday night.
What's the latest? Like, where do you see this going?
I think the Titans game is going to be a very key point. Now, I have said before, week 1 was a demarcation point. I continuously say that. The fact that the Jets have shown they need Hassan Reddick to remain competitive on defense against some of the better offenses in the National Football League, it tells me right away we need a deal done, and we need a deal done pronto. The issue at hand is Reddick's not showing up until he gets a new deal. If they walk into Tennessee and go to them and say, and just get dominated again, and they just lose out, it's another 30-point loss, the defense just gets completely gashed, Joe Douglas has no shot here. He instantly goes back on the hot seat to say, this is your fault. You can't blame Robert Salah for not being able to have these defensive players when his best available one is not on the field because you won't give him the deal that he was looking for. I think if they were to go into Tennessee and get blown out and lose because the defense is anemic once again, Joe Douglas is going to have no shot here. He has to go to Reddick, whether it's his house, whether it's his personal trainer, whatever it is, and hash out a deal immediately. Very similar to what happened with the Dallas Cowboys and Emmitt Smith. They started 0-2, and I think it was 92, and the Cowboys were panicking. Everyone was panicking about it, and Troy Aikman essentially went into Jerry Jones's office and said, hey, you need to get this deal done with Emmitt Smith now. They get the deal done before week 3. They go on and win the Super Bowl. I think something like very similar like that could happen if the Jets fall to the Titans in week 2.
How about this for an idea? Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald. How about you go rush Will Levis on Sunday and do what they're supposed to do against a Titans O-line that is not the Niners?
Takes care of a lot of concerns. If they walk into Tennessee and dominate the line of scrimmage like they're supposed to, it takes care of a lot of concerns because the Patriots' offensive line is not very good. Despite what you saw against the Bengals, it's not very good. The Vikings' offensive line has some players, but isn't really majorly talented. You know, the Broncos' offensive line's a mess. There's an opportunity still here for the Jets to start 4-1, even with the 49ers loss. There's still a very good chance they start 4-1.
The Jets, the Titans, Sunday. We'll be watching it all together at T Squared Social in New York City.
The yellow line and the goal line. Handoff to Hall. Touchdown Jets. They're going to get a free play. Rodgers is the master at it, and a touchdown by Lazard.
It's all happening. RSVP, if you're going to make it out, the link is in the description. If you're watching live right now, I put it in the live chat. Also, we only have 95 likes. There's 415 people watching live right now. Click that thumbs up button. It helps the channel continue to grow. And more importantly, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click that red button on the right. Hit subscribe. That will help us get closer to our goal of 40,000 subscribers. Super chat here from Mr. Reality. There is no longer we should beat this team or that. There is no should with Salah. Jets start each game behind the 8 ball with Salah. New England, Tennessee, tough. Couple things here. One, no, New England, Tennessee, they do not start behind the 8 ball. They got to win both games if they're the team we think they are. And two, Salah and his coaching staff, they were not good on Monday. I don't think we sit here and now act like there are no redeeming qualities about this coach. They have proven they could coach defense. They were awful on Monday against a great team. If this team is as good as I think they're still going to be, Nick, this is where they bounce back, play with pride, and remind everyone how good they still are from a talent perspective on Sunday.
I'm going to remind everyone also, you have a franchise quarterback, a 4-time NFL MVP quarterback at your disposal. You are going to be favored in almost every single game you play this year. And it doesn't matter who the head coach is. It really doesn't. Because Rodgers has masked a lot worse. He has masked a lot worse on this team. He got to the NFC Championship game at an 8-7-1 record during the regular season. We need to sort of pull back a little bit on how angry we are for a week 1 loss. If they walk into Tennessee and Rodgers throws 4 touchdown passes and the team wins 28-17, are we really this concerned? When you have a franchise quarterback, you are going to be able to win a lot of football games. That is just the reality of the situation. What you need is a defense to not be anemic. And that is what the Jets defense was on Monday. Do we honestly think they're going to be that bad again? I just don't see it. They have too much talent there to do so. I don't see DJ Reed and Michael Carter specifically getting burnt consistently in coverage like they were against the 49ers. I don't see CJ Mosley and Quincy Williams and Jamian Sherwood having miserable games at linebacker because all of them were bad. It was not just one or the other. Quincy Williams was just as bad as everyone else on that defense. They missed a lot of tackles. There were a lot of other problems outside of the defensive line. I don't see that happening again. I really don't. And again, that's for the Titans. When you play the Patriots, I think that game needs to be 45-0. I mean, you need to exercise every demon imaginable for that game. That needs to be the biggest blowout in recent Jets history because the Patriots aren't good. Okay, great. They were able to beat the Bengals week 1, but are we sure that we're properly rating the Cincinnati Bengals? Are we sure we're properly rating them as a top team in the AFC when they didn't make the playoffs last season? And when Joe Burrow was healthy, we're under 500? It wasn't like they were guaranteed to make the playoffs with Burrow on the field. So the Bengals have a lot of issues on their end. Are we sure that the Patriots are suddenly these world beaters overall? I don't see it.
JJ with a super chat. Salah said Clemens was one of the better ones in the D-line. Clearly he is delusional. This is a part of his bad coaching. He not honest with his team.
Okay. I have gotten on Salah for not being completely honest in certain situations, particularly on the injuries. I've said this before. We need to stop with this. What did he, and Jake, you know this better than anyone, what did Robert Salah do last season with Zach Wilson consistently? It wasn't always Zach Wilson's fault. It was never just Zach Wilson that was starting this team publicly. He would never trash Wilson publicly. That's exactly what he's doing here. I think he understands that Michael Clemens was not good on Monday night. I think he knows his entire defensive line wasn't good on Monday night. But is he going to sit there and say, yeah, Michael Clemens really stinks. He's our worst edge rusher on the field? Of course not. That has never been his MO. That never will be his MO. It's just not going to happen. Excuse me.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's Nick Faria. If you have a question for him, super chat it in. We'll get to some calls here in a moment. John says, D-line going to eat on Sunday. Besides Clemens, he stinks.
And this is my point. Like, listen, I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying Michael Clemens is some world-beating defensive end right now. But you can't blame Robert Salah for defending him just like he did Zach Wilson because he does this to everybody. He's done this for years now. It's just, and again, do I think Michael Clemens is going to end up being John Franklin Myers? As of right now, no. He hasn't shown me anything. Could he grow in and develop that? I certainly say he can. He's got the intangibles to do it, but he's got to put it all together. At some point, we need to realize when we are always looking for something negative, some of the things we pick apart and some of the things we look at sound ridiculous. Robert Salah defending Michael Clemens is exactly what he's done for years. That is not what Jet fans should be angry about going into week 2. It's just not.
Here's a question I had before we get to some calls, Nick. This game tonight, Dolphins, Bills. Who should the Jet fan be rooting for, in your opinion?
That's a great question. I'm gonna go a little out there. I think you have to root for the Miami Dolphins. I really do. The Buffalo Bills are not the same team they have been in recent years. You kind of saw that on Sunday against the Cardinals. They have a lot of injuries, and a lot of injuries that are not going to be easily recoverable. Matt Milano, Taron Johnson. There's a lot of guys that are really good on this Bills defense that have not been healthy enough to win. The reason why you want to root for the Dolphins is the Bills have won the division 4 straight years. You want to get them out of the conversation as soon as possible. As soon as possible. The closer the Bills are to elimination from the division title, the closer you are to competing with Miami for said title. And with those games in December that you are facing off against Miami, those are games that you should be able to win in the cold weather to essentially give yourself a division championship. I think the Jets, if you are sacrificing a Miami win early in the division, you're doing it now against the Bills. It's just that simple.
Comments, questions, super chats will cut the line. Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. It's open, baby. We say hello to John, who's up first today. Hey, John.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
So I just wanted to be able to probably spin one thing positive, please.
There's a lot of positives. There is.
I just think the one thing that was refreshing to me is that every time Aaron Rodgers dropped back, I knew he was going to give a high ball in the middle of the field. Watch somebody get decapitated in front of me. I think that's like one thing for this season that we can at least feel good about, because showing us in game 1 is that he's very, we understand how conscious he is when he plays, but, just saving all these people, I think that's what it is. Like a lot of the, I had a guy come up to me talking about the pick and everything. It's like, well, why do you think the ball was there? Like everywhere he puts the ball is where he wants to put it. And if it's close, he's hoping that Garrett can close the gap in that, you know what I mean? Because again, like Lazard is the type of guy that needs everything to be perfect to be able to catch the ball, right? He needs it in the spot with the timing and everything. But with Garrett, even Aaron Rodgers put it out in Pat McAfee show, like he gets to the point very quickly. So there's margin for error, or there's more leeway in that timing because of how fast Garrett is. So it's like that feels good. It feels good as a fan, as a person that cares about each one of our players and their health long term and everything. So I appreciate that. And then secondary, like, yeah, the 1-2 punch, like that's something that's kind of integral in a lot of offenses, a lot of championship teams, is being able to have the duality of the power back and the speed. So them not doing that is just, that's a problem, and they need to figure that out, because again, like Aaron Rodgers, he's not going to be as mobile as we want him to be until, he feels completely comfortable per se. And that leaves us with options of left side of the field, right side of the field. And that's about it. Strong, weak. And with people like Fred Warner, it's like that's easy to figure out. And those pitches completely are going to get blown up because there's no type of trickery. There's no type of, counter play or option if you know that the quarterback isn't doing anything. I pause. Play action, of course, but I mean, still, you're not worrying about him pulling it and taking it all the way. So,
Nick, your thoughts on that?
No, I think he's pretty fair in his assessment. The Jets have a lot to look forward to. They have a lot of positives to look at. But when it comes to offensive personnel deployment, they've got to be better. They just have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a question for Nick, now's the time to write it in. Doug writes in, some fans want the team to suck, so they're right. Yes, there are some Jet fans who are just miserable. They sleep in their own filth every night, and they want to just be miserable and bring down everyone else. You won't find that on the show. It's
unfortunate. It's unfortunate because there are some Jets, and I'll throw even some Mets fans as well, who will look and say, I hope this team gets no hit. And then they score 6 runs in the top of the 9th to win a game and stay in contention for the playoffs, and then it's dead silent from those people. So it's unfortunate, to say the least.
Big fella says Michael Clemens was serviceable on Monday, like a Sonic roller skater is serviceable. Hopefully he's better on Sunday. That is disrespectful. There are some big-time Sonic skaters that I've seen in my lifetime attending that fast food joint.
Yeah, listen, I don't think Clemens was serviceable at all. I don't think any defensive player was serviceable. I really don't. Maybe I'll correct
Tony Adams, I thought, had a pretty good game.
I thought Sauce Gardner was the best player. I thought Adams missed a couple tackles overall, needs to be better in terms of that. I thought
Sauce was good in coverage. It wasn't good in coverage. Yeah.
He was targeted twice, 2 incomplete passes. The one incomplete pass he forced was against Brandon Ayuk. It was a great breakup. He's an all-pro for a reason. And there was literally that, and I'm like, everything else just needs to go in the trash because it was just awful. So, yeah, Clemens certainly a part of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, super chat from JJ who says, Nick, you're terribly wrong. Salah doesn't have to say Clemens stinks, but he has to say he played better than the rest. Is a flat-out lie and no accountability.
Well, it's not exactly what Robert Salah said. That's not exact. He didn't say that Clemens was better than everyone. He's like, I thought he was one of the better, which is a completely different conversation. People may think and say, oh, that's just semantics. It's not. It's not. It's a very specific difference. Being one of the better means that he won a couple of his assignments. He did what he was supposed to do overall on a couple of his assignments. That did not say that Clemens was better than everyone else. That did not say that Clemens had a good game. What it does say is, yeah, we were really bad. Clemens, I think, was probably one of the brighter spots for them all, but that doesn't absolve him from having a poor game in general.
Ladies and gentlemen, a super chat from Michael who says, sleep in their own filth. I'm still laughing. That's how many of you live. You sleep in your own filth. Try and bring everyone else down and wants to, dare I say, be positive about a team that is really talented on the field. Ridiculous. Anyway, all right. We need some positivity. Normally, this guy would provide it, but after yesterday, I don't know. We say hello to Neil, who joins us now. Hello, Neil.
Nick, how are you? Let me give it.
There it is.
Very nice.
There it is. There it is. Santorini, what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Let me tell you something, Nick. You are. Mwah. Now you're in that facility, right? Do you go to the facility?
Yes, when I can.
You ever run into that guy Zach Rosenblatt?
Yeah, I see him all the time. He's great.
I don't like that guy. He's a freaking dud. He's a dud. I want you to kick him right in the ass on the way to Joe Douglas's office. Okay, listen to me. You get to Joe Douglas's office and you smash your hand and say, listen to me. I'm an Eagles fan. My Eagles spent $190 million to put a team together. And I'm going to tell you something right now. We only have $90 million in contracts. Spend the $25 million. Sign this goddamn Reddick. And let's get going here. Enough. You want to win the Super Bowl? Or you want to be like me? I'm going to take your job, for Christ's sakes. Come on, baby. Get me back to Nick. I don't want to be on the solo screen. Nick, baby, you get in there right now. I'm telling you, if you don't do this, I'm going to be highly disappointed. Second thing, Sunday. Where are you on Sunday?
Sorry, what was the question?
Where are you going to be Sunday at noon?
I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
What are you talking about? I'm going to send a sprinter over for you and bring you over to P-Square.
It's happening.
Listen to me. I'm going to give you a preview of what you're going to miss, Nick. I am going to be, when we score a touchdown, you see that bar with the screens?
Yeah.
I'm going to be on top of that bar dancing after our score. I'm going to be on top of that bar doing a jet chant after every score. Okay? My wife is doing better. My wife broke her hip, Nick. I don't know if
I'm sorry to hear that. I hope
I didn't make Monday night. It was horrible. My dog almost died simultaneously.
How's the dog doing?
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. I spent $1,500 at some stupid emergency care facility. So they say to me, the vet comes out. She says, you know, your dog has a collapsed trachea. I have a little Yorkie, a 5-pound Yorkie that I love this dog. And she says to me, he has a collapsed trachea. And the only way to really take care of it is the trachea has to get stented. I said, okay, you're going to put a stent in the trachea. Who does that? Well, there's a surgeon in Manhattan that does it. I said, well, let me ask you, how much is that going to cost? Well, she said it's about $15,000.
$15,000?
Yes, $15,000.
That's nothing to your guy Hassan Reddick.
$15,000, I could get a litter of little Yorkies to jump around me and get me comfortable. Let me tell you something. I love my dog, but I don't love my dog for $15,000. For $15,000, I'll put a pillow over my own face and kill myself, okay, if I can't breathe. So that's not going to happen. But thankfully, I got him on some medication, steroids, everything else. He's starting to grow muscles now. I have him on so many drugs, he's dancing around and doing a jig. I don't know how long he's going to last, but I got to tell you, he's in trouble. He's back to somewhat normal. I got to put a pill in his food. I got to give him some kind of liquid in his mouth. Jesus Christ. These last 2 weeks, I got to tell you, it's been murder. But this is our dream season. By the way, just to add in, Michael Clemens sucks. Okay.
Jets win Sunday, Neil.
Oh,
it's happening.
Listen to me. I like Lane Train's score of 37-29 because I'm still not convinced they're not going to score against us. But I am absolutely convinced that I will be on that bar after about 5 touchdowns. It'll be 35 to, it's not going to be 29 points. I mean, I think they're going to get 17 maybe. But I'll be dancing on the bar 5 times at minimum.
Let's go.
These goddamn exploding cigars. Like, gotta go, Jake. I'll call back later. Shit.
I love Neil. He's such a great guy. That's fantastic.
That was one of his better calls too. I love it. He's got the polo on. He comes in. He's telling us about his wife Michelle, the dog.
I hope she's doing okay. I didn't know. I hope she's doing okay, Neil. So prayers for you and your family.
Yeah, Neil. I texted you for an update. You never got back to me. I hope Michelle's doing all right. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll get to more of your calls. Now, Neil brought up the Lane Train breakdown on the game. For those tuning in late, I'll play it. Nick, I want your thoughts on this assessment from the Lane Train.
Great game. I know Aaron Rodgers did well tonight. Look, it's only one game. Everybody's complaining that the season's over. Week 2, they're playing Tennessee. We're going to win. I guarantee that they're going to win 37-29.
I don't think Monday was a great game. I'll just put that out there. But I have a feeling the Jets are going to win. I have them winning 28-17 over the Titans. I think it's going to be a lot closer than people want to have. I think it'll be 21-17 for most of the game. A late touchdown will put it away and give the Jets their first win. No more thoughts on Lane Train. That's just me. Typical him as well.
29 points would be a lot. If they score 37, though, that would be exciting.
That would be very exciting. I think you get 4 touchdowns in, you're going to be everyone's going to be very happy. You win by 2 scores. Just win the game, obviously, number 1. But you win by 2 scores. That's something to be happy about.
Also, all super chats for the remainder of the show go towards Neil's Yorkie fund. We need to raise $15,000 to save Neil's dog. Bang Mateo says, Nick, when can we call Ruckert a bad pick already?
Can we get to like the middle of the year? We're not doing this week 1. They had a bad game. We just got relax, people. You don't have to throw a victory parade for every player that played poorly. You don't. Sorry. I'm not throwing anyone under the bus and saying they are terrible players when it's week 1 of the NFL season. I'm just not going to.
Ladies and gentlemen, well said. Story Lynn, super chat. He cuts the line. The fact that Joe Douglas is an ex-Eagle and Reddick came from the Eagles makes me believe he's doing his old team a favor and screwing this guy over.
Okay. Why would he be doing the Eagles a favor by taking their best edge rusher off the team? Why would he be doing that team a favor? Like, if he was doing a favor to the Eagles, he would have given Bryce Huff and a second-round pick to Howie Roseman and said, here's another edge rusher for you. Your defense really stunk. If he was actually doing the Eagles a favor, he would send us Quincy Williams or Sauce Gardner. He would. That's just a matter of fact. How is he actually helping his old team now? He took on Reddick. Okay, great. We don't have a pass rush either. We had 2 sacks and they came from a linebacker. It's not like the Philadelphia Eagles pass rush was any better last week. They gave up over 180 yards themselves. It's not like they're in a better position in their run defense.
F you. F you. F you too.
Good Lord.
One game, man. This is what we deal with. One game. The big fella says, Jake, can we get a roll call for fans going to Nashville? Only ones I know are me and Lowski. We can get a roll call, big fella. Let's get everyone that is on the Patreon in that Discord. Let's make sure we make it clear who's going. There's that whole tab for people that are going to be in Nashville for that game. If anyone in the chat is going to Nashville, let the big fella know, baby. Love it. Fireman Ed's going to join us tomorrow. He will be in Nashville, so he'll give you a little roll call on the show tomorrow at 10 a.m. All right, a couple more calls for Nick, and then we'll say goodbye. Let's go to Kyle Clifton, who's next. Hey, Kyle.
What's up, fellas? How are you? So I found myself agreeing with JJ, which I don't usually do. I think I'm generally positive. Like when he talks about Salah and accountability, I understand that Salah is not going to badmouth people in public, but then don't bring Clemens up and take him to task behind closed doors.
He was asked about Clemens.
Yeah, I understand. Just give a middle of the road statement. Then I mean, you can't just come out and say the guy played well. We all have eyes. It's kind of insane. Like the problem is he only has so much more goodwill with the fans built up. If they lose this week, and I don't think they're going to, that is going to go out the window, and then people are going to start looking for heads. So I don't understand how some of these guys' press conferences are starting to get under people's skins, and I think you're starting to see it in the comments and stuff. We all agree he's a good defensive coach, but you also have to be an adult and with the excuse making and stuff and accountability. And to date, I haven't seen it as much. I wanted your guys' thoughts on that.
But he didn't say Clemens played well. I think that's what people are forgetting. He didn't say he played well. He said, I think it was a problem for everyone, but I thought Clemens was a little bit better than some of these other guys. Paraphrasing, of course, I don't have the quote directly in front of me, but he did not say Clemens played well. It was, I thought Clemens was just a little bit better than some of these other guys. If Jermaine Johnson, who was the third worst graded edge rusher in the NFL for week 1, if he was that bad and Clemens was just a little bit better.
But I mean, talking about goodwill, Nick, Jermaine Johnson has a lot more goodwill than
sure.
Clemens
No,
does.
but that's not what I'm saying is if we're talking about Michael Clemens and saying he didn't play well, no one's saying he didn't. No, not even Salah said he played well. What he's saying is he looked better than some of these other guys, which he objectively did. He graded higher than Jermaine Johnson and Will McDonald. That's the point.
I don't necessarily agree. I think it's a little bit of parsing, but that's me. Thanks for your feedback, guys. I appreciate the time.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kyle Clifton checking in. Make sure we missed any super chats. We did not. All right, let's keep it rolling here. Rob, the Jet fan from Glenhead, is up next. Hello, Rob.
Hey, guys. How's it going? How you doing, Nick?
How you doing, Rob?
I always love your takes. They're positive and, you're fair. That's what I like.
Appreciate it.
Woke up to a text from our buddy here, Neil. Hey, Rob, I'm around. You want to go together to T-Square Sunday? And I was like, yeah, sure. Why not? So I was happy to see that.
Let's go.
Jets! Let's go! Yeah!
Let's go! I truly want to do that, Jake, when we score, I think, at least 3 to 4 touchdowns this Sunday. My prediction is 27-17.
Yeah!
He agrees with me. But I wanted to make kind of a statement here, Nick, and I'm sure pretty much that you're going to agree with this. I mean, forget that we got outclassed and outplayed by an extremely good team in the 49ers, because 49ers, let's not make no bones, they're a really, really good team. Okay.
They were one of the final teams of the Super Bowl. It's not like you lost to the Ravens or the Bengals, like good teams, but you don't know how good they are.
Exactly.
The 49ers were just in the Super Bowl.
Exactly. And you know what, too, Nick? I look at it this way. The more and more we play less and less preseason games, the worse these teams are going to look and the rustier they're going to be.
Yep.
And let's be honest, none of our starters played for really any of these preseason games. We were good to go. We had the extra reps, whatever it was, 60, 90 more reps, whatever the hell it was. And, okay, we're good to go. I think, if anything, the offense got to practice more intensely than our defense did, because we assumed our defense is good. It always is. And you know what? It truly showed the rust in the 49er game. We got outplayed, out-schemed, everything else, but they also were very rusty. And you know what? The more we see of this, the more this is going to happen. So you know what? I know you have the injured factor into it. You know, when you play these guys prior to the season, you risk injury. I get it. But you know what? I don't think there's any way around it. I think next year the starters are going to have to play at least either a game, a half a game, 3 series, 4 series, whatever it is, it is. They can't keep doing this because it shows, especially when you play a team like the 49ers, it shows. So you know what?
I'll ask you this question, because I completely agree with you. I on everything. I agree with you. The teams that did not play their starters in the preseason didn't look good on week 1. Do you think there was a team, and I would ask Jake the same question as well, but do you think there's a team that actually looked good in week 1? Outside of the 49ers, because clearly they did.
I would say the 49ers, I guess. I mean, I would have to watch every single game. I don't think they looked bad were the Chiefs. I mean, they didn't seem to miss.
But they didn't look like world beaters, did they?
No, not world beaters, but it was enough. But neither did Baltimore. Let's be honest.
That's exactly my point.
Better than Baltimore.
There were 2 teams I thought that looked dominant week 1 and looked really, really good. Actually, 3 teams. The Saints, because they played the Panthers.
Yes.
The Cowboys, and they played the Browns, and the 49ers. Now, people will say, well, look at their opponents and everything else. But the preseason, not playing your guys in the preseason, matters. It has mattered. The NFL executives now have essentially said, and I've heard this from many people, the season doesn't start until week 5. It just doesn't. This first month is a bona fide preseason of sorts for NFL teams to get these guys ready to go for the stretch run. That is all it is.
But
as long as you stay afloat, you're going to be fine. And that's where the Jets are. That's where a lot of these teams are. They don't care about the preseason. Right, wrong, indifferent, it doesn't matter. They don't care about it.
And that's a lot, Nick. Think about it. Listen to what you're saying. Week 5. You're not saying week 1 or week 2. No. Week 5, until a lot of this rust is out and these teams start looking like they're supposed to be looking. And the Jets didn't even resemble the team that they're supposed to be looking for, because the Jets defense looked horrible. And I agree with you. A lot of people saw the stat line of Tony Adams, and I'm not putting Tony Adams down. I think he's a good player. But you know what? He had, at the end of the day, he had whatever it was, 10, 12 tackles at the end of the day. Oh, he had a great game. No, I didn't see a great game from him. I saw him a lot of times out of position, and Kittle's burnt him a few times. Then he made some good plays also. But again, how much of it is the rust factor of him not playing in preseason? And I think next year, I don't care. I want to see the starters play next year. I know we risk somebody getting injured, and I don't like that part. But you know what? I think next year they have to play at least 1 game, a half a game, a quarter of a game, something next year. Not just not play any preseason at all.
Well, you may not get it. The preseason may be completely abolished next year if they go to 18 games. That's a question that a lot of people are having. And this is kind of what I've been talking about here. People are going to say, well, every game matters. There's only 17 games. No one's saying it's irrelevant, but the fact of the matter is teams are rusty. This rust doesn't come off immediately when the games start. Look at every team trying to tackle opponents this past week. Just look at it. Every team struggled with tackling. It wasn't just the Jets. The Cowboys struggled with it. The Chiefs struggled with it. The Packers and Eagles, two defenses.
Look at it, Hawk. Look at it. Zach Wilson, bottom left corner, Hawk. Look at it. Sorry, old habits.
But
Continue, Nick.
We need to acknowledge that week 1 of the NFL season is really exciting. But how many times have we overreacted to things that happened in week 1 and the complete opposite goes over? The Jacksonville Jaguars won opening week the year they went 1-15, and they didn't win another game the rest of the year. It could very well happen to the Patriots. Week 1 just does not matter anymore, and it takes a long time for teams to get this rust off.
Nick, do you have time for one more caller who wants to go head to head with you? I mean, you got to bring your lunch pail for this one. Here we go. JJ's next.
I just want to correct Nick because he keeps misquoting Robert Salah. The quote was, "I actually thought Clems was really good. He was one of the better ones." So the fact that he said he thought he was really good is the part that you're leaving out. That's very worrisome and troublesome. Listen, I was not a good athlete, but I played college football. I was on the bench the whole year. And being on the bench, I got to listen to a lot of coach speech. And whenever they would address the quarterback of the team.
Your internet is horrendous. Like, it's so bad.
Hold on. I'll call back. Hold on.
Nick's got to go.
Yeah, well, I think the point that JJ is saying is the first sentence. And I will say, listen to Robert Salah's answers on every single question. He says really good at almost every single answer. So I don't put stock in that. Him saying he was one of the better ones does not mean that he had a good game. Him saying, yeah, I thought he was really good today, does not mean that he thought he was really good. What it is him just saying coach speak. That's exactly what it is. That's his MO. He says it with every answer. He'll say that he said it about John Franklin Myers. He said it about Zach Wilson. He said it about Zach Wilson at least 3 times last year. I thought Zach was really good today.
I'm sick of JJ's potato phone. Get a real phone, JJ. Get a real phone.
I just
get a real phone.
Does it sound better now or no?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting closer so I can hear.
The point that I was trying to make is you can't sit in front of the fan base and say you thought a guy was actually really good, and then behind closed doors tell him, hey, you sucked on this play, you sucked on that play, because that's even worse for the player's mental and psyche. You can't do that. All right. If the guy didn't play well, hold him accountable. Yeah, he didn't have the greatest game. We're going to work on it. We're going to get him where he needs to be. But you don't sit there and tell us he actually had a really good game and he was one of the better ones. That's the problem that I have with it. Don't lie to the fans and tell the fans that he actually was really good. Like, that's the part that you're leaving out. You can't say that. He wasn't actually really good. So why would you say that to your fan base?
JJ, like I said before, if you listen to the Zach Wilson conversations he had last year, he would start almost every single answer with, he was really good. And then we go into what he did wrong.
That's a problem. He wasn't really good.
Because that's what you do as a head coach. You mitigate the disaster. If he went up and said, put it this way, what's his name? The Washington head coach, Ron Rivera. He had a conversation about Carson Wentz a couple of years ago. And he said, and they asked him, what was the problem? And he said, the quarterback. And that is where controversy was created. When the easiest way to shut everything down was, yeah, it was really good. Other things need to improve, whatever. You shut it down because then, okay, the fan base is angry at you because you're not being honest about a particular player. But you know what the player's saying? Okay, he's saying that in public. That doesn't mean that he thinks that way in front of them.
That's exactly what it means with this team, because we've seen time and time again that Salah has favoritism and he refuses to hold the players that he likes accountable. We've seen it year after year after year with stupid Yeah, he does have favoritism. That's why Michael Clemens is on the field and he's not that good. He shouldn't be on the field.
He's on the field because you don't have a dominant run-stopping edge rusher anymore.
Okay, so think about this. We got rid of Bryce Huff. We got rid of John Franklin Myers, and they thought that Michael Clemens would be that dominant run stopper. Why? What did they see all last year, all during camp, that let them know that he was going to be a good player?
Because they look at his intangibles. They look at his intangibles, and they see him every day.
Okay, you're making no sense. Explain to me why they got rid of John Franklin Myers and thought that Michael Clemens would be a good replacement for him.
Well, first off, they weren't thinking about Michael Clemens when they traded JFM away. They were thinking about Reddick overall. That's the first part.
Reddick is not known to be a run stopper.
Is
Reddick known to be a run?
They traded JFM because they were hoping, they were expecting overall that Hassan Reddick could be the every down edge rusher that he was in Philadelphia.
Okay. Two things could be true, but that makes no sense when you're talking about two different players. You have Michael Clemens on the team, right? You don't have Hassan Reddick. They traded for him. He didn't have a contract ready, or he's not on the field. He's not there. They believed that, hey, we still have Michael Clemens on here, so we're good. We don't have to sign Hassan Reddick. That's why they're not. They think that they can get by with the D line that they have. True or false?
I'm sorry. Hold on. Repeat the entire point just now, because
my point is they believe that with the defensive line that they have now, they don't need Michael Clemens. I'm not sorry.
They don't
not
need Hassan Reddick.
Hassan Reddick. Why do I say that? Because if they didn't believe that, then they would have signed him. They would have gave him whatever he wanted to get him in the building. So clearly
that was never going to happen. He needed to show
so
up.
Clearly, so clearly they think they can get by with the team that they have. That's why they're not pushing the envelope to get him in the building, right?
No, they're standing true to a negotiation like most teams do. They're not going to go over to someone who's not in the building. That's why
if they thought they needed him badly enough, they would get him in the building.
Are we sure?
If they need, well, then they should be fired. They all should be fired. If you have a player that can help your team and you need him badly enough, and you're not willing to do whatever it takes to get him in the building,
they see him as an additive piece and one of the elite players.
That's the point that I'm saying. They see him as an additive piece because they believe in Michael Clemens. Why do they believe in Michael Clemens?
They believe in all of them, not just Michael Clemens.
Hey, JJ, question
Thank you for your time.
Hold on. I repeat after me because it looks like you got the walkie-talkie going on. You're calling in the play. Say trips right, yo-yo, 60Y stick on one.
There we go. We're going to go trips right, yo-yo, 60Y. What did you give it again? Trips right, yo-yo.
Yeah, repeat after me, all right? Trips right, yo-yo, 60Y stick on one.
Trips right, yo-yo, 60Y stick on one.
Well done. You survived a JJ battle, Nick. How do you feel?
I mean, I survived one during free agency when he said it was an embarrassment that Jets hadn't signed anyone. And then they probably went and got Morgan Moses, Tyron Smith, and Mike Williams, and all these other guys. So.
Yeah. No big splashes. 30. He wanted the big splash for 30 minutes into free agency. That's what we're dealing with JJ.
It was like 5 hours into free agency. It was like, I think this was later in the day.
No. And he called me 30 minutes in, and you were on with me later in the day, and he was still complaining. Yep.
I'm perfectly fine surviving. I listen. I love Jet fans. I've said this before. I've kind of giving you guys this designation of you guys are just ultra bipolar, and I'll take bipolar over Philadelphia's just nonstop negativity left and right. We're talking about if the season's over week 1, Philadelphia is saying they're never going to be able to win a Super Bowl because they gave up 29 points and Jalen Hurts was picked off twice, and they won the game by 5 and put up 34 points. I just give me this over. Oh my God, Jalen Hurts sucks at quarterback. Oh my God, we won by 5.
Jay writes in, what happened to your voice, Jake? Well, Jay, I've been doing a lot of streaming and not a lot of sleeping this week. You can blame the short week. It doesn't just affect the Jets. It affects Jet content creators too, Nick. You know.
Happens.
Nick, excellent job. Looking forward to next week. Hopefully they win so we don't have to deal with more nonsense.
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Faria in his weekly spot, joining the show. Comments, questions, super chats, we'll cut the line. We still got some people on hold, so we'll get into your calls. We have yet to add a single channel member during today's show, so I'm going to gift the membership right now to get the membership parade rolling. Hit the join button if you want to be a member. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on gift receipts. That way, when someone makes it rain, you got a chance to get yourself a channel membership. All right, let's get back to your calls. We say hello to Doug in his room, who's next. Hello, Doug.
I swear the JJs of them all, the Bang Mateos of them all, we could go 15-0 in our next games, blow everybody out, and then be like, "Well, did you see week one? We don't do everything right. This team sucks. Salah, he has too much." I swear to God, the Jets could go 15-1, win every game by 50, win the Super Bowl by 50, and there will be fans to find something to complain about. People need to shut the F up and calm the hell down. It's week one. It's week one. There are 16 more games. Do we remember what happened after week one last year? People were like, "Oh man, that's where doom and gloom is." Right now, there should be no reason for doom and gloom. It is week one. Everyone overreacts because there was football. Week one. Like, people need to calm the F down. I know I'm getting a little intense about it, but like, it annoys me how negative people are about Jets, like the Jets. Like, yes, it wasn't the best performance, but there are things you could build upon. Like, it wasn't the worst game ever. The 49ers are a team that's played together for multiple years. It's the last year before they're going to get really broken up because they have to pay Purdy next year. Like, people just need to calm the F down and let the season play out. Last year, I could understand because Rodgers was done, season was over. This year, calm the F down, let the team play the games. Just let them play the games and see what happens. Like, is that so hard for people to do? Sorry.
Yes,
it
is.
Just get that off my chest. Like, it annoys me. Like, JJ is just so effing annoying these times, and Bang Mateo. Like, again, we could go 15-1 the rest of the way, win every game by 50 plus points. The Jets D line have a feeling. It's like, "Oh, but Reddick wasn't here week 2. Oh my God, did you see how we lost to the 49ers week 1? Salah is just a terrible coach. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't game plan." It drives me insane. Just insane.
Gator says Doug is spending too much time on negative callers and not enough time trying to find his sleeves.
They're not on this shirt, but I have shirts with other sleeves. So there you go.
Did you charge people tickets to the gun show over there, Doug?
Yeah. No free admission.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doug in his room. Great call. Dave writes in, "Jake, you need to take care of that throat." Hey now. Family show, Dave. Jeez. Andrew says we need to fix the run defense. No one's going to throw a damn pass against us if they run all day. Stop with the Reddick BS. They do need to fix the run defense, but I think part of it's also the scheme, the team you played. Jets not having a preseason for the defense. They were rusty. They didn't tackle well. They missed, 18 tackles? I think they're going to be okay. They played terrible against the Titans. Then I think we got problems. I don't expect this defense to play that poor again. I really don't. John says, JJ, we don't know what Salah says behind closed doors. Exactly. We don't. Mr. Reality says, Callahan and his old man will plan to run on us to death. Okay. Well, put 8 in the box and dare Will Levis to beat you. Trust your corners. T-Town Jet has gifted 1 membership. Let's go. If you hear your name called, you are officially an Asmaniac. Gullihim Zammer. Congratulations. Thank you to T-Town for getting us rolling. I gifted 1 channel membership. It went to DJ Jibs, who's officially a channel member. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. We need more likes. We need more subscribers. Turn on gift receipts. You never know when someone might make it rain. All right. Let's get back into your calls right now. And we say hello to our king. King Lowski's next. Hello, King Lowski.
Jake, my brother. Jake, my brother. It's always good to see you on this fine Thursday, football Thursday, my brother. I just wanted to make a couple of quick points, man. I'm glad everybody is kind of calming down. You know what I'm saying? It's football to be watched tonight, people. Okay?
Who we rooting for?
I'm not rooting for a damn soul in this game. And I just got the Bills winning because I believe the Bills own Miami, and I'll just leave it at that. I'm just doing homework tonight. Trust me, I'm not watching for any enjoyment or entertainment, just for homework purposes. I just want to say, I want to look to the level of competition that we're about to ensue in the next couple of weeks. I want everybody to keep that taste in your mouth. Pause. of the 49ers really beating our ass. Okay? I want everybody to remember that ass whooping. Because at the end of the day, we're going to need that in the coming weeks. Okay? To remember that we're supposed to be beating these teams that's coming up. Okay? Denver, the Vikings, those teams we're supposed to beat. Okay? Let's not play down to the competition. Let's play up to the competition and beyond that. Okay? Because at the end of the day, we're going to have to face some playoff teams real soon after we play these cupcakes. Okay? And I call them cupcakes because we're supposed to beat these teams. All right? So at the end of the day, I'm not worried. This defense is going to get it together, and we're going to be all right. Aaron Rodgers is going to be Aaron Rodgers. He showed us as long as we keep the old man up, we can do amazing things. We were second in pass blocking. I like that. All right. So let's just keep everything in mind and keep everything in context. Jesus! Jesus!
Yeah.
Jesus!
Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we needed from King Lowski. It took a day later than it normally does for the fan base to flip from the loss to how we're going to win on Sunday. But we're ready. Ladies and gentlemen, how about this? Memberships flying off the shelves. Neil with a 10 spot. He wrote that this was inspired by that call right there from King Lowski. And for the first time, Neil gifted 10 memberships. I can now play the membership Neil theme video. Let's go.
Now, give me money. Or I shoot him. And I shoot all you motherfuckers. And then we take it. Your choice, bitches.
Yeah, buddy. Here we go. We got 10 names to read off. Bino, Limitless, NYC, Harrison Presti, Hayward Messages, Pastor. What can we shorten that? Sag Hageki, Virgil's Chair, Adam Mayer, Living Like a Local, Alexander Ortiz, Squared Away. You were all channel members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But wait, there's more. How about Reese Q, stepping up for the people? 5 memberships. Let's go.
Show me the money.
Show me the money! Money.
Leaf King, Andrew Hernandez, B40, Richard Galati, Richard Asuto. You guys are all officially channel members. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Just like that, 17 members have been added within the last, 5, 6 minutes? AD says, I'm rooting for an overtime tie tonight. Yeah. How about overtime? Each team's exhausted and has to run a lot of plays. I don't know. Dave says, Jake, get some lozenges. Didn't mean anything vile. Dave, I know you didn't. I'm just sick. All right. That's the truth. I just wanted to make a joke. I thank you, Dave. Don't worry. I've been drinking tea. It's just one of those days, man. One of those days. More calls right now. This will definitely not make my voice better. We say hello to Gary, who's next. Hey, Gary.
What's up, Jake?
What jersey are you wearing?
Kenny Anderson.
Ah, very nice.
Kenny Anderson and Stephon Marbury, my 2 all-time favorite Nets. Real quick, this is kind of becoming the I Hate Michael Clemens podcast. Salah just said some positive things about him. They weren't really positive. They were just not negative. And then everyone is up in arms because Salah said he played, what did he say, better than one of the better players, is what he said. Like,
do you consider yourself a Michael Clemens truther?
No, I'm a fan of the Jets, bro. And I'm a fan of Robert Salah, and I'm a fan of Michael Clemens, right?
And Joe Douglas, who drafted Michael Clemens.
We'll get to Joe Douglas, and we'll get to Joe. That was a terrible pick, right, Jake?
Who?
Clemens is awful as a terrible pick.
I mean, he was a 3rd or 4th round pick. Like, I'm not going to kill a 4th round pick. You know,
Okay, but it's a bad pick, right?
I wouldn't say it's a bad pick. It's like, about what you expect
Michael
from a 4th
Clemens
round pick.
sucks. It's not a bad pick. Try to put that together.
I don't think he was necessarily a bad pick. I just don't think he's a great player. I mean, he's a 4th round pick. Like, most of them are a lot worse than Clemens. Like, the fact that he's a guy who could start games and has made plays in the NFL, like, that's That's better than a lot of 4th round picks.
I agree. I think he's a quality player.
Now, Gary, did you put on that jersey today because you saw Doug went sleeveless? So you're like, I want to show off my guns as well.
It's laundry day, my man. Laundry day.
See,
yeah.
Who does the laundry in your house? Your nanny?
No, my wife typically does the laundry. Nanny's out of town, so
you're doing it.
No, I'm waiting for my wife to come home.
Oh, okay.
I like Salah's answer, honestly. You never throw your guys under the bus, right? Like, look, was Michael Clemens great? No. Was anyone on the defense great? Maybe Sauce, but no one else really. Like, no one else was really good. You're never gonna throw your. I mean, what do you want him to say? Clemens sucks. Everyone sucks. It's like when there's an epic failure. Just take
JJ calling you out. He said he was really good. What are you talking about, Gary? How was he really good? Wow. 2 people who usually try to be on the same side are now going at it. I love it.
What you tell the media is far, far different than what you tell your players in private. Do you think he's telling Clemens he did great, that he was awesome in private? No, you're going to go over the tape, you're going to review it. What I tell the media is completely different. I'm not going to, it's like if you're out to dinner with friends and you have a friend who's kind of a scumbag and he walks out and goes to the bathroom and you're sitting with his girlfriend. His girlfriend goes, "What do you think of Mikey?" Mikey's the best dude in the world. You're so lucky to have him. Like, you're never going to bash your own guy. Right? Like, I don't understand what you people want from Salah. You want him to like throw a hissy fit, throw a tantrum, act. God love him. Act like Neil on yesterday's call. The sky is falling. The world is over. Like, what do you want from him? Calm breeds calm. Panic breeds panic. It's one game. I told y'all in one of my trash takes. If you don't take the preseason seriously, you will look rusty and not sharp week 1. Your timing will be off, and you won't be sharp. No one in the NFL takes the preseason seriously anymore. Week 1 football across the league was abysmal. Did you watch the Titans and the Bears? It was horrendous. It was like one of the worst games I've ever seen. So it's one game. There's no reason to panic. There's no reason to get upset, right? Once we beat Tennessee and then we beat New England on Thursday night and we're 2-1, all will be well in the world. It's one game after you don't take the preseason seriously. It's all good. Yeah, calm breeds calm.
I actually think you make some good points today. I'm like shocked this is coming from you, though.
You're not going to like this bit. Is Joe Douglas winning the pissing contest with Reddick? Is he winning that?
I think the problem is, do we know Reddick even wants to play football?
I don't know that. I've never talked to him, and he doesn't talk to the media.
Like, what's his strategy, Gary? Like what's his plan? Like, he just wants to lose another $800K this week? He's like, yeah, I'm good.
This is weird. Like, Barry Sanders used to hold out to be the highest paid running back every year, and then he would get it. But he never spent any of his money, and he'd give it all away. It's like, is this about money or not with Reddick? Right? Because if it's about money, you would just end this and sign because you're losing a ton of money, right? I mean, I don't even know if it's about money with Reddick anymore, because if it was, he would hold in, and at this point, he would sign. Because like you said, he's losing almost $1 million a week. Like, how many weeks has he missed? At a certain point, it's like you're just losing money. But what I know is there's 52 other guys in that locker room who think they can win the Super Bowl, right? I know week 1. Let's throw week 1 out. When you don't bring in a guy as good as Reddick, it's demoralizing. Like, everyone, I know he's never played it down for the Jets. I understand. Everyone in the sound of my voice, everyone listening to this knows exactly how good Hassan Reddick is. And very much better team with him. I can't believe it's gotten to this point. Like, I thought on Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. we would have an agreement. I don't know. Like, maybe Reddick's being completely unreasonable. But Joe Douglas traded for him. And you guys say, oh, it doesn't matter that we have a low IQ GM who can't speak in sentences. One dude got outsmarted by Howie Roseman. Joe Douglas. You got him. Like I say, you can't fix stupid, and there's no replacement for intelligent. No other GM took the bait from Howie Roseman. I understand Reddick's a great player. He's not playing. What good does he do you? I can't believe that at this point, there's one holdout in the NFL, right? It's Reddick.
Do you think the Jets win on Sunday, Gary?
They're going to win on Sunday, and they're going to win next Thursday. We're going to be 2-1, and every call moving after on 2-1, after we beat the Patriots on a primetime game is going to be positive, and we're going to forget week 1 ever happened.
I want you to know that last night I had chicken with pasta as well.
I like your show. I like this show. I won't be taking dining advice from you in the future.
Gary, a rare call where you didn't bother me that much. Well done.
All right. I appreciate it, Jake. That's 2 in a row because I called on Tuesday and you said my call was not bad either.
And we're turning the corner, baby. Ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Gary.
Chicken with pasta is worse than peanut butter with sandwich.
Thank you, Gary. Hit the like button if you're just tuning in. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We check in right now with someone who was on the show earlier, but he's back with a special guest. Neil with the great Duke is on the line. Hello, Duke.
Oh, I need $10,000, please, to fix my throat. I don't feel very good. I really don't. I don't know if I can root for the Jets. I don't know if I can root for the Jets without my $10,000.
Duke's adorable.
Oh, this dog is my life here. This little bastard. He's, you know why he's licking me? It's lunchtime. He wants to eat. He only thinks about food. You know, look at the face on this thing. This is the cutest little face on earth right now. This little son of a bitch. He's just got me, boy. I tell you, anything this dog wants, he gets. So hopefully, you know, he is. If you would have seen him the other night, tongue was hanging out. He couldn't even breathe. It was horrible. I can tell you, it was really bad.
15 grand to fix his throat.
Yeah, that's all. Just everybody throw 15 grand. Where's that guy? The guy that the guy that's real generous that has another name that we put in the shadow realm. Who is the guy we put in the shadow realm? But he's another one with the same name that is real generous. What's his
Jets
name?
Forever?
Yes.
Oh, Jets Forever too. Yeah.
Could you spare $10,000 for my throat surgery, please? Hurry up. I need to breathe better. I want to run around and chase squirrels. That's my favorite hobby.
All right. I got to go feed him now. Take care, everybody. Everybody Sunday, you get your asses over there. Okay? Fireman Ed, I'm going to his house to pick him up with the Sprinter. He's coming.
He's going to Nashville. He won't be there.
I don't care. I'll pick him up in Nashville. Actually,
right.
I was supposed to go to Nashville. But anyway, I'll see everybody Sunday. Let's go.
Let's go, Neil. It's all happening.
Jake, I've made all 13 of my points. Before you cut me off again, I'm going to throw myself out this goddamn window.
Incredible. More of your calls right now. We check in with a guy on a bike in New York City. Nate, parentheses, Nate.
Is that me, Jake?
Oh, we got you. Where are we at right now, Nate?
I'm going to work. I'm on 91st and Broadway.
All right.
I'm going downtown. For Gary to call in and say, this is sounding like the Michael Clemens hate channel, when he turns every channel he calls into and turns it into a Joe Douglas hating channel. So if players want to hate on Michael Clemens, or people want to hate on Michael Clemens, it's fine. I thought Faria was taking a weird stance with trying to protect him, and the only positive I heard from Faria was that he had intangibles. I have intangibles. That doesn't mean shit. He does have to play well at some point, and like anyone who watched the game yesterday or watched the replay or the all 22, Clemens didn't play well. There's no masking that, and he was like, Salah always whatever. He ripped Lazard last year. He had a 3-year contract, and he said, yeah, well, he's done, July 20th, 2020. Like, he had a date counting down to Lazard. So for guys that don't play well, he does. To me, it all goes back to JFM. Like a lot of callers and people at the chat have been making this point. Clemens is replacing JFM. JFM got a deal that, one sec, that no
Look
one.
at you not obeying red lights. You're just like, I'm going to do what I want.
But he's good. Everyone got plenty of space. We're good. We're good. These are the same pedestrians that walk on red lights, cars that make turns. Like, I've never gotten an accident. We're good. We're very safe, Jake. We're very safe. Look at him. He's jaywalk. Stay on the sidewalk. Crazy, man. Crazy.
Is that guy on a skateboard in front of you? What am I looking at? No, it's a bike. I
He's
can't tell.
the Mexican-themed bike with, like, flags and all types of stuff. He sees me. My man. Usually have a speaker, too, so people can usually hear me coming, but right now it's just kind of Jake in the headphones. Not the same effect. Heads up, Ma. But yeah, that's about it. We trade for JFM.
The chat is saying this is not safe. People are very concerned. Nate.
Left or right? Go ahead. Call it, Jake.
Right.
Oh, shit. Not a right. All right, you got it, Jake. You got the wheel.
We're just gonna stay straight right now. We're going down Broadway. We're having a good time. Someone called you Nate Armstrong, Genergy.
Say that.
Genergy called you Nate Armstrong.
Sure. Uh-oh. We got a red at 79th. This usually takes like 4 seconds. I think we can make this one.
Are you on a city bike? What are you riding? Just a...
No, I'm on my bike.
Right
We're
through
on
the
the-
intersection there. I mean, just no
What's that?
regard. Going right through. All right. A lot of people are saying to be careful. They don't think you're being careful.
These are people that get in cars every day. gotta check the stats. We're good. Call it, Jake. Call it, Jake.
Straight.
That's a fucking taxi. What do you mean straight?
Yeah, run right through the red. There it is.
Okay. Oh, this is all right. This is sticky right here.
Weave in and out. All right. Give us some
No hands
jukes.
with them, baby. We're good.
A lot of traffic in New York.
Yeah, 9 a.m. is even worse. I gotta leave at work 8:39. It's everyone's just standstill. At least people are moving.
1189 says you're being dumb, not using your hands.
I'll do it again for whoever said that right here. Da-na-na-na-na-na. Split the D, baby!
Lucas Ford says, watch out for Charles Gorman. He'll run you over.
Woo!
Joe the Jet says, this is extremely impressive.
Hey! Oh, he's stopping. He's stopping. He's stopping. We split it. What? Whoopty. Make the call, Jake. You got the wheel.
In betweens.
Oh, my fault.
Going right through the red. Here we go.
All right. Call it. Oh, we got the ops.
Yeah, weave in and out. Give us a little weaving.
Ooh, whoa, that's a tight one. My mile. I thought I had more room.
Dude, these people gotta hate you.
They're at a red light. I will beat them anywhere they're going in the city. There's no problem. $30 blocks away from work, baby. Half of my call was on the Jake Show. Thank you.
My pleasure, Nate. How's no one honking at you?
We're at the Apple Store, approaching Columbus Circle, 59th Street. Whoa, he's coming close, buddy.
Tom says you're like... You got to play Ride and Dirty next time as your background music as you're driving.
Jake, we're beating the Titans by 2 touchdowns on Sunday. I got a big bet in, and so does Jake West on the money line.
Will you be biking the T-Squared Social on Sunday?
Yeah, but I'm going to bike there, but I'm taking my city bike. I doubt that manager is going to let me lock my bike inside. Let me in, bro. Whoa. Everybody calm the fuck down.
Kyle says, I remember when this was a Jet show and not a GTA live stream.
Swerve. City bike. My guy, appreciate you. All right, we're back on Broadway. Had a little detour.
Any other Jet takes you have for us, Nate? Oh, you're on all right.
Oh, okay. What'd you say?
Any other Jet takes people want to know?
We got, the defensive line, we're going to, like I said yesterday, we're going to stack the box against Levis. They're not going to be able to run the ball. People were talking about, oh, Tony Pollard's a better running back than Mason. It was not because of the running back. Like, clearly it's because of their scheme and offensive line. I got running back under yards, make Levis throw it. Hopefully we're playing with a lead. I said 4 or 5 sacks. Can kind of recover from this whole Reddick Clemens situation.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I got, like Nick Faria said it, we should be happy with a double digit. I'm expecting double digits, like 10 points or up a touchdown and score another touchdown late. And
Give us a little spin around Columbus Circle right now before you go.
What's that?
Give us a little twirl around Columbus Circle where you are right now.
I'm coming in, Ma. Watch out, Connecticut.
There it is. Beautiful.
Actually, I'm making it right. I gotta go. And now, if anyone rides a bike, 57th Street right here is the quickest light. On your right, bro. Appreciate you. It's the quickest light in the city. If it ever goes yellow to red, even I wouldn't go through it. It goes green to green faster than anything in the city. Well, we got 3 seconds. We're good. We're good. All right, Times Square. Things are going to get sticky. I can't lie. Things are going to get sticky. Don't pop out, bro. Don't pop out, bro. Oh, she talking shit. She talking shit. What happened? What happened? What'd he do? What'd he do? He did something crazy? He hit your car? He hit your car?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's not a turning lane. She can't. Well, I got it on video. What you need? Yeah, it's live on the Jake Asman show. You can see if you need any insurance claims. Damn. Hold up, where we get hit? Yeah, get that insurance, bro. She trying to act like, yeah, bro. Swerve. It's on Jake Asman show. I'm live. I can't set Jake Asman show. Remember that. Yeah. I got to leave in like a couple, but it's live on the Jake Asman show, like Asman. Yeah, what's up?
Live on the Jake Asman.
Asman, but without an extra S. Asman. It's live. You'll see his morning stream.
You can't
Jake,
leave yet. No, go back. Turn around. Turn around. We need more.
Hold on. Wow. Oh, what is she doing? Oh, she's videoing him. He's pulling over, Ma.
Film this. The police might need it.
She thought he was trying to get away. You said you were pulling over. What's she worried about? Calm down, girl. She videoing me too. What's up, Nate? Hold on. I'm swinging. Jake, what time is it, Jake?
11:45.
Yeah, I got to be at the Garden at 12. I'm there. I'm 5 minutes away.
I'll call Dolan and I'll tell him you're a little busy.
Dude, tell Dolan and tell him to allow us to keep the fucking trucks on 8th like we have for 30 years. He's such a dick. It's just a visual thing. If you get him on the phone.
Let's figure out what's happening here.
He's everybody's getting video of everyone. She thought he was running off. She's blocking a whole intersection. Like, move your car. No one can go forward. No one can go cross. Like, she's videoing him. Oh my gosh, she's zoomed in. Where's she going? Oh, she's explaining. She's going play by play. She's like, I was going here. Oh my God. Does anyone do insurance in the chat? Like, I'm sure you have someone who works in insurance. This is a straight, right?
Where was the car hit though?
She's supposed to go straight on a green. There's a turning lane right here. She tried to hook around the curb and turn. He went into her because it was a green light. He thought she was going straight. And she tried to hook a turn, but there was bikes and people here, so not allowed to turn there. So it's like he hit her from behind, but she was the one that tried to make an illegal turn on a green. So it's like, that's why they both got this video. That's why I want to know if any insurance people in the chat, because usually it's on the person, from behind, not giving enough space.
She's got to move her car too. She can't block the intersection
she got to move
here.
her car. No one can go cross town and no one can go downtown.
Move the car, man. This is the problem with New York right here.
She's laughing at him.
Move that Grand Cherokee. R&R says they were watching
Nice
the
to meet you.
crazy
I'm
guy
from
on
West
the
Side.
What show you on?
Jake Asman show.
Oh, nice to meet you.
Pleasure. What's your name?
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. It's all right. We got your license plate. I I know. She said, that doesn't matter. You got to get her name. She don't want to give her name. She might be illegal. She might be a legal immigrant. Jake Asman show, for real. Pull over to this side. Now, look at this. She's not very bright. Oh, you got the cops. You got the cops right here, bro.
Here we go. New York's finest.
No, she's on the left. He's on the right. So now no one can come through the street. Brilliant, mate.
Where are we at right now? We're on like 56th?
56th and Broadway.
Broadway? Yep.
What time is it? Is it
11:48.
All right, we good. We got 5 minutes. Yeah, cops.
I mean, we have a legit standstill right now. We have a gridlock. We got to get these cars out of the way.
Dude, she's causing wild traffic. If anyone's on Upper West Side behind 59th Street, it's the white Cherokees fucking up your whole morning. Like, look at this. This is wild. All right, the cop pulled over on the right. Let's see. He's gonna straighten shit out. Jake, was anyone able to rewind to see if that actually was caught on your show, like the bump?
Say that again, Nate.
Was anyone can anyone rewind to see if the bump happened on your show live? Because I don't know if it happened like while I was on camera.
Yeah, to my knowledge, we didn't see that. You didn't have that.
So, yeah, so they might be able to look on the show, and they may cops can figure this out real quick.
We didn't see the impact.
Yo, if you go on YouTube on the Jake Asman show, it's live right now. You might be able to look and see what happened play by play right now. Like YouTube Jake Asman show, it's live. Go back 5 minutes.
Tell them to subscribe to the channel, Nate.
Impact.
Like and subscribe. Join the Patreon.
Yeah, like and subscribe, bro.
Get in the Discord.
Yes, now this truck's trying to get through, my man. Appreciate you. All right, Jake, we're moving. We're going downtown. I got to get to the garden.
All right. Well, Nate, excellent job out of you.
Back on the road again. I just can't wait to get back on the road again.
Ask them if they'll give some memberships too.
Who's gifting?
I was hoping they would.
Oh. Get the cops. All right. Okay, now that's like she caused traffic in all of Midtown. That's always shit. All right, we'll go bike lane.
I'm gonna ask the chat. Should we stay with Nate as he concludes his ride to the garden? I think the answer is going to be yes, considering I've been monitoring the viewership, Nate, and we have actually gained viewers during all this, not lost.
Live stream, baby.
You're bringing in ratings.
All right, we're back. All right, do we go? I missed the turn. Maybe the Naked Cowboy's there today, and I can get Bobby his birthday song. That's what I was trying to do.
I wish Bobby was on hold. I would have brought him on to talk to that woman.
All right, I'm like let me get a time check at 11:57. I gotta make moves and be there for sure.
You got 10 minutes right now.
Oh, beautiful. And beautiful Times Square.
There it is.
Look, pedestrians crossing my light. No one wants to say anything about that. They want to say he's going through reds. They're going through reds. What are we talking about here?
Seems like a nice day. What's the temperature today?
Trying to see if I see a Jets hat. There's so few Jets fans in Manhattan, I feel like.
Well, where you are, it's all tourists.
Oh my God, what are these outfits? Oh my, Bobby. Oh, Bobby, this is you right here. You guys look fabulous.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Holy shit, he was bearded. Road again. Hey, congratulations! They got married in Times Square. No way.
Very romantic.
Gotta love it.
You should stream this every day, Nate. You should start a YouTube channel where it's just you riding your bike.
Jake, I told you I did this on Twitch during COVID before I fucked up my ankle. Gotta take some time off.
No one watches Twitch.
Live streams. People would tell me where to go. We'd go test out different foods in the city.
We need a YouTube channel for just you riding the
bike. All types of wild stuff. How's that, boss? My geyser.
Oh my God, it's jammed.
Appreciate you, Taurus. Appreciate you. Oh, I'm not even gonna fucking lie. Oh my God. That truck, the back of that truck was sticking out more than I thought. We got a time check?
11:52.
Oh, beautiful. You said 50 what?
11:52. You got 8 minutes.
Oh, we got plenty of time. We can stop and do an interview. We got plenty of time.
Yeah, you're good. You'll make it.
What's that?
You'll make it. You got plenty of time.
Yeah, and I got plenty of time. Still looking for a Jets fan. Are the cops Jets fans, you think? Talk about standstill traffic. God damn.
Yard House. What a spot.
On your right, Papa.
You get out of country.
That guy's speaker. Oh, truck. Thank you, truck. I'm in that picture. Hey. Jake, you got a score prediction for the Titans?
As Lane Train said, Jets 37, Titans 29.
29 points, bro. I don't want to do another one of your weak shows with the defense giving up 29 points to Will Levis.
It'll be a lot of garbage time.
Oh my god. Is that they're just gonna score in garbage time?
Yeah.
Dude, I've spotted 0 Jets fans. And we've gone through Upper West Side, Midtown, Columbus Circle, everything. Jets, no?
Gary says, why is watching Nate ride his bike so entertaining?
How's what?
Gary wants to know why you riding your bike is so entertaining. He's enjoying it.
Go ahead, Gary. Left or right, Gary?
He says straight.
Ma. See, she's no one gonna say nothing to her. She's jaywalking. She's getting in my way. I had the right there. It's just stay safe. That's the rules of the road here. Stay safe. Don't crash.
You have 6 minutes.
We're 2 blocks away. I could walk backwards by now. All right. We'll get a Jets fan outside the garden. There'll be some sports fans outside the garden. There gotta be. Oh, we're on Weed the People's block. That's where he took you guys.
Yeah, this is it. You gonna get a slice at Sabaro's real quick?
We could slide to Sabaro's and do a whole
Get an authentic New York
thing.
slice.
This one has a W on it. If it's got a W, it's mine. Nope. And Madison Square Garden. We got a Yankee fan? Not a Yankee fan.
Well, everyone's just wearing the Yankee.
Mark,
We
you're a
don't know
football
their
fan?
fans.
No, just Yankees? Bro, we can't get a football fan? Come on, bro. Watch out, ladies. Security at the Garden's always pretty friendly. Let's see. Wow, this 33rd Street looks so different.
You got 4 minutes.
Oh, shit, bro. One of my bosses is there. You want to say hi? Chrissy.
What's
up, How are you? What do we got here? What do we got here today? Hans Zimmer? I don't know who that is, but
He scores movies, which is weird.
he
right?
scores movies?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll see you in a week or whenever.
Has he given you an official schedule?
No, but
He will.
yeah, I know. I appreciate
Go play
you, Chrissy.
pickleball.
I'll talk to you soon. Oh, I should have got a score prediction from Chrissy.
We love Chrissy.
What's that?
We're big fans of her.
No, Chrissy's great. Chrissy's been working in live production for like 30 years. She's got a pretty cushiony job. It's pretty nice.
Where are you going to park your bike?
What's that?
Where are you going to park your bike?
I have to use my bike. I have to take, we have a bunch of trucks on 12th Avenue, if you've ever seen them by the river over there. Then I have to bring them one by one to the different loading areas and kind of serve as an escort. We're doing Central Park, MSG, Yankee Stadium. So I get to use it right now. I don't have to be on my feet. If I do need to lock it, I'll lock it in a pole for a second where I can where I can see it. Actually, where am I going? I need to go downtown. 2 more blocks. We get a time check.
11:57.
Oh my God, beautiful. bro. It's crazy. There's not one person wearing football gear in New York City. Heads up, boss. Appreciate you. Chat, they're not moving. I don't want to hear shit. They're not moving. They're staying still cars. Anybody need a taxi?
Nate is lawless, baby. He's going uptown right into the traffic.
They're not moving. It's like going around statues. What are we talking about? I got to go right here. This black truck is mine. Oh, it's our guy from the other night. It's our friend from the other night. Selling the hats and stuff. Yo, taxi, what are we doing? You got it, you got it, you got it. Oh, look, there he is. How are you? Good to see you. You as well, you as well. That guy's here all the time selling hats. I forgot his website. I should give him a shout out. Oh, shit. Who is that?
2 minutes.
Ollie, what's good? I thought I see some orange fucking vest here. What y'all got today?
What's up, bro? On Simmer, 14 truck.
Oh, yeah. She was telling me. She was doing some weird song and stuff. I'll see you guys for the concert.
Global?
Yeah, Global. They got me back on the bike like a madman, but better than that with my fucked up ankle. Standing.
How is it?
No, it's one of my other bikes.
1 minute. We got 1 minute, Nate.
Oh, we're here, Jake. We're good. I'm probably gonna get surgery. I had 2 cortisone shots this year. It felt a lot better, but it's just masking the pain. There's still one of the ligaments didn't heal. There's bone on bone. So after GPP, I'm gonna get surgery in October. Most likely. But it is what it is. It is what it is. I saw Chrissy. I saw some orange vests. I want to say what's good.
Yeah.
I want to say what's good. Yeah. Hell yeah. All right, I'll see you guys in the park. Be good. Am I still on?
You are.
No, cheers. Hey, Jake. Oh, shit. No fucking way. Oh, my God. You will not believe I'm not even going to say it.
Family show.
Bro, fucking #1 chatter. I'm not going to put you on. You want me to say it? Can I say who it is? Bro, fucking Tom Ace in this motherfucking place.
No way.
Tom Ace just
Tom
yelled
Ace?
at me on fucking 31st and 8th. Fuck yeah. You said you always work here. I'm coming back around. Let me hang up on Jake. Tom Ace just fucking yelled. Holy shit, that is awesome. Awesome.
Tom Ace?
The Tom Ace is here. He came out of his. I remember he said he works on 31st. He said next time you're here, tell me. That's hysterical. Hold on, let me swing around the block. Oh my God. That is wild.
I feel like that's a good way to end this, Nate. A great conclusion.
Whoa, taxi. The fuck? Yeah, no, that was tremendous. He met me on the block. Shout out.
Tom says Ace. I walked all the way around the garden to get to Nate.
All right, Jake. I know Tom's a very confidential man.
He is.
I'll see you guys soon.
Nate, excellent job out of you.
As always, see ya.
That was something. I hope everyone enjoyed. Incredible. All right, let's rapid fire a couple more calls, then we'll say goodbye. Wow, what a show. Rick wants to know, why are we watching this guy? I don't know, Rick. Did you stay on the whole time like everyone else did? Tim from Fishland is next. Hey, Tim, good luck following that one.
Oof. I don't know. I'd love to see him do that in Miami, especially this time of year. I hate this freaking state down here, man. Jesus Christ, it is so brutal outside. It's like working in a fucking sauna. Sorry for my language, but I feel bad for them Bills tonight. I'll tell you that. Coming down here. On to what Rob from Glen had said. He was right on with it. Okay, you can't practice the running game and you can't practice stopping the run in training camp. There's no contact. So it could only go up from here. If it goes down, then we got serious issues. So we'll see what happens with that. Hassan Reddick does not change any little thing about the pass rushing. Listen, you cannot get a pass rush if you can't stop the run. You got to stop the run first to get a pass rush. So got to earn the right to rush. So it is what it is, and we'll see what happens on Sunday.
Tim, turn your camera around and start weaving in and out of traffic.
I can't do that in a company vehicle. If I was in my vehicle, then yeah, but I can't do that in a company vehicle. I'll call the office and then I'll get bitched at.
I love it. Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
No problem.
Tim from Fishland, check it in. All right, a couple super chats here. John says, update JD in contact with Reddick's agent. I didn't see that anywhere, so I'm not sure. Not sure where that's coming from. John says CMC thinks Vikings are better than the Jets. It wasn't CMC. It was Nick Bosa who made those comments. But, I mean, whatever. Hopefully, Jets can play the Niners again in February. M. Lopez says Bosa took a shot at us saying Vikings are better. Let him say what he said. It's whatever. I think he's saying based on like how each team played, the Vikings are better because they look really good week one. But like, do I think Nick Bosa's opinion on the Jets matters? No. Just win. Let's go to Ray. He's next on our show. Hey, Ray.
Hey, how you doing, Jake? Long time listener, first time calling in.
Welcome aboard, Ray.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. I was out in San Francisco with the wife for that game, and I didn't want to give you I'm going to call it expert opinion on this. I saw a team defense that was a shell of what we normally are. Kinlaw, number 54? I don't know if he's bought into the system the way that Salah, but he was not good. Everybody talked about number 72. Clemens wasn't no good. I saw players that looked like they weren't there to play football. I saw Mosley miss tackles, which he doesn't normally do. I saw, Sauce, he ain't the best tackler. I seen 3 of him. I seen Mason putting punishment. Number 22, I have to give him credit. Adams, Tony, he was there making hits and, trying to tackle. He's a very small man. Mason was just bullying him. What else did I see? Ashton Davis, he's a complete liability. I don't know why we keep him on the team. I know he's a special teams guy, but every year he gets in on defense and he's always making mistakes.
He was good last year, though, in limited opportunities. I just don't think anyone really played that well, Ray. You highlighted a couple guys who had moments, but it just had a bad night.
Yeah, the defensive line. But listen, the defensive line, the interior of the defensive line, they normally hold up. I think guys are trying to make plays instead of doing whatever they're supposed to hold up 2 guys. So the linebackers, like you said, the whole team was in disarray. It was complete disarray. I was embarrassed, but I know that we're going to get it together. I want to bring in the defensive lineman that undrafted free. He should have played. I think he would have had more moxie than anybody coming in. What is his name?
Leonard Taylor, you want?
Taylor should have been there. Taylor should have been in the middle of that field. I don't care what they say. He needs to be playing. We need to take Clemens. We need to bring Taylor, and he has to be active this game. Anyway, that was just my take. I was watching it very intently in hostile territory, but you know what? I think we're going to get it, but we got to do some interior. We got to get that interior fixed quick.
Absolutely. Yeah, they had a bad night. This team has had games like that under Salah, and they've responded well. Like the Cowboy game last year comes to mind. So
408 yards.
I expect a much better performance Sunday, Ray. They better play better.
All right, thank you, man. I appreciate it. I'm in good spirit. I know I haven't sold out and said that we're done. It was an anomaly. I had to go back to work and face a lot of 49er fans, but I was telling them, hey, it was a great game. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. That's all I can say.
Ray, you're the man. Call back again. All right, great call.
All right, thank you.
Ray checking in. All right, we got time for one more call on what has been another 2-hour stream. Ladies and gentlemen, we say hello to Mr. Bonesy.
The only thing better than all them shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Jake, my brother. What's up, buddy?
Are you going to go run after Nate next as well?
Yo, Nate was giving me PTSD watching that. He was scaring the shit out of me. Maybe 20 years ago I'd like to do that, but and skill, man. He's riding no hands and swerving, risking his life. Nate, shout out to you, brother. You the man. But hey, Neil brought up his dog Duke. Shout out to Duke because our animals are important to us. And he mentioned something about Duke that I take offense. He said that all Duke cares about is food, right? And Neil's got to understand something. When you're looking at like me as a human, there are a million goddamn things in this world that I love. That I could love. That could be a hobby. I could go skydiving. I could jump out of a plane. I could do so many things. But when it comes down to my three favorite things, it's food, females, and the Jets, right? Now, if you give this little dog, he's got like 10 things to pick from. Chasing squirrels, smelling, food. Half the time, 90% of people, they cut their dog's balls off or get them fixed, and they can't even have they can't even have that satisfaction. So there's one thing that the dog has that we have in common, which is food. So think about how important it is to him if I could do anything in the world and it's still in my top three. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Duke. Shout out to my dog Rex. He's getting old, but we got to love our animals. You know what I'm saying?
Well said, Bonesy. Well said.
Now my jet takes. We got to keep this Jets.
You got to get a new phone is what you got to do, but go ahead.
It's my sound is still fucked up.
Yeah, read the chat. You're getting destroyed.
Oh my God, I restarted my phone too. Whatever, I'm done then. I do got to get a new phone. Sorry guys, I reset my phone. Normally it works, but why didn't we run blitz? Why didn't we just throw one run blitz at halftime? Just let them beat us deep. Give me one run blitz. Just say, all right, on this play, we don't care about chunk plays. You know what I'm saying? But JTS, I love you guys.
Mr. Bonesy, everyone. What a guy. A gentleman and a scholar. Folks, it's been a wild show. Join the Patreon if you haven't. Get in the Discord. It's wild in there. It's fun. If you're going to Nashville, you're going to want to connect with Jet fans. You can do so in the Discord. Thank you to Peter, John Marquez, Harlem Wab for being our three most recent Patreon subscribers. Patreon.com/Jake Asman Show. Folks, we've said it all. We've learned. We've laughed. We've cried. It's been a show unlike any we've done before. Thank you to Nate for his iconic ride around New York City on the bike. I'm going to be back in less than 4 hours. Robbie Sabo is coming on today's show at 4. Robbie's normally on Tuesdays, but we moved things around because of the Jets playing Monday night. So Robbie's with us this afternoon, so I'm certainly looking forward to that one. Once again, my name is Jake Asman. This has been the Jake Asman Show. The Jets play Sunday against the Titans. RSVP to the watch party if you plan on coming out. It's going to be a blast. Promise you that. And since the Jets are playing on CBS for the first time this football season, I end today's show by giving you a little Bijan magic. Talk to you guys soon. Go Jets.
Let's go, baby.
I can't believe they have to sing the ABCs.
Yeah, there's only
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, oh, voice crack, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me?